Ryan's in Biloxi, Mississippi. Hey, Ryan, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. It's an honor to talk to you.
You too, sir. What's up?
My question was about your credit score. So I've only had one loan in my life. I'm 22 years old right now, and I had a small auto loan when I bought my first car.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've paid that off. I'm completely debt-free right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to hop on Credit Karma a little bit ago. About maybe a month ago is when I first checked my credit score, just because I was curious to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a credit score there. So my question was, how long after you pay your last debt off does your score eventually drop to zero?
Well, our typical experience has been, because we don't know. No one knows except Fair Isaac, who runs FICO. Okay, they're the only ones that actually know their algorithm. But it appears between 6 months and a year from the time that you have all zero balances and no open accounts. If you have a credit card and you're paying it off every month, that's an open account.
Right.
Okay, that you can have no debt and still have a credit score all the time. Okay, so if anybody is reporting on you, and the only way that would happen is if you have an ongoing relationship with them, meaning you still owe them money or you're still using their product even though you're paying it off every month. It could be an Amex card. Then you will always maintain a credit score of some kind. So the only way is if you have you go off the grid, basically. You're saying I have zero accounts open and zero balances of any kind. No bad debt, no good debt, no debt that I pay off every month, no debt of any kind. Roughly 6 months to a year later, we're finding people's credit score disappears. Now, when I first started this, I still had a bankruptcy showing on mine. And so it was not going to go away for a while because I had this bankruptcy showing. And a Chapter 7 bankruptcy will report on you for 10 years. It'll show up on your credit bureau report. And some of the old creditors that you bankrupt on that you don't pay, they might report after the bankruptcy. They're not supposed to, but sometimes their computers kick out that they still haven't gotten paid. Well, they're not going to get paid because Chapter 7, they got zero. And I had 2 of them or 3 of them report 3 years later. And that started the whole process over. I had to go back and dispute those because they were not allowed to report that. They did ultimately get paid because I went back and paid my bankruptcy, but as a moral thing, not as a legal thing. But anyway, all that to say, you've got to have the thing completely squeaky clean. And then apparently, if they haven't changed it this month and they don't start counting your rent, or they didn't start counting something else that we don't know that they count, then your credit score will go to zero, which is what we call it, but they technically call it indeterminable because they have no way to determine a credit score. They actually sent me an email back in the day that said, we want to check on you because your credit score has disappeared. You are now undeterminable, and we wanted to make sure there was not a mistake or that you weren't dead. And I kind of thought that was a threat, but it's a little subtle, passive-aggressive. It's like when a Southerner says, bless your heart. You know, I mean, it's the same thing, right? So, I've had zero for, 25, 26, 27 years, something like that. I had an indeterminable credit score, and I've had an indeterminable amount of money as a result because I don't have any payments. It's a pretty amazing thing.